Hello and welcome back to This Week in New Genre Books. My name is Amelia, and from Locus Magazine we're going to talk about the new science fiction, fantasy, and horror books being published the week of October 8th, 2024. Thanks for joining me. In fantasy releases, it's a big week for guys with swords and magical matchmakers. Does AI dream of science fiction? A star-studded anthology will tell us. First up, science fiction, we have 4 titles. From Sophie Burnham, we have debut novel Sargassa, out from DAW in hardcover ebook and audio. This is an alternate history science fiction novel, the first in a trilogy set in alternate North America, in a world where Rome never fell. Selah Kleos is suddenly thrust into the important role of imperial historian after her father is assassinated and must deal with 2 strange classified items he left to her. From Rob Hart and Alex Segura, we have Dark Space, out from Blackstone Publishing in trade paperback, ebook, and audio. This is a science fiction novel, a spy thriller in space. Loyalties are tested when Jose Carriles, pilot of the ship Mosaic, on the first mission outside our solar system, gets suspicious when things start to go wrong. Meanwhile, Corin, an unhappy desk jockey monitoring long-range communications, starts to investigate because a message from the Mosaic is mysteriously wiped by someone. From Jill 2, we have debut novel The Dividing Sky, out from Joy Revolution in hardcover ebook and audio. This is a far-future dystopian science fiction novel. Lower-class teen Liv Newman sells memories to rich people too busy to have lives of their own. She's offered a ludicrous sum to go on an assignment, but soon all her own memories are gone. From Django Wexler, we have Last Stop, out from Podium Publishing and trade paperback, ebook, and audio. This is a science fiction adventure novel, first in the Diamond Knife series. Kadra, a military genius known as the Diamond Knife, is forced into political exile. She takes command of a smuggler's airship with her ne'er-do-well pilot brother Zom leading its air wing. Next up, horror, we have 5 titles. From Kim Newman, we have A Christmas Ghost Story, out from Titan Books UK in hardcover, ebook, and audio. This is a haunted Christmas horror novel set deep in the British countryside. A mother and son prepare for Christmas. Sinister holiday cards, rotting food, and unwelcome guests turn the season into a nightmare. From CJ Cook, we have The Book of Witching, out from Berkeley in trade paperback, ebook, and audio. This is a horror novel. After a hiking accident, Clem's daughter doesn't recognize her mother and won't answer to her name, insisting she is someone named Nyx. Clem goes to the site of the accident in the remote Orkney Islands and finds that the answer may lie in the dark history of a woman accused of witchcraft. From Lish McBride, we have Red in Tooth and Claw, out from Putnam in hardcover and ebook. This is a young adult horror novel. After her grandfather dies, a teen girl disguised as a boy gets shipped to a remote fort for social outcasts, a place rife with mystery, kept afloat by suspicious wealth. Then people start dying, mangled by something that can't possibly be human. From Nicholas Pullen, we have The Black Hunger, out from Red Hook in trade paperback, ebook, and audio. This is a gothic horror novel. A dying man in mourning for his secret lover writes his last will and testament. It's a tale of otherworldly creatures, ancient cults, and a terrifying journey from the stone circles of Scotland to the icy peaks of Tibet. From Del Sandine, we have debut novel This Cursed House, out from Berkeley in hardcover, ebook, and audio. This is a Southern Gothic horror novel. Jenna, a woman in the 1960s who can see spirits, moves to New Orleans to start over. There, she finds the family she's working for thinks she can break the curse they're under. Next up, fantasy, we have 9 titles. From Karen Loichi, we have The Mountain Crown, out from Solaris UK in trade paperback, ebook, and audio. This is a fantasy novella, the first in the Crowns of Ischia trilogy. Mika's subjugated people share an empathic connection with dragons. When Mika shows compassion toward an imprisoned dragon, she draws the ire of the authorities. They insist on assigning their own member to Mika's mission to perform a dragon ritual. From Freya Marsk, author of A Marvelous Light and the Last Binding series, we have Sword Crossed, out from Bramble, Taurus Romance imprint, in hardcover, ebook, and audio. This is a fantasy novel about Matinish J, dutiful heir to his struggling family business, who needs to hire an experienced swordsman as best man for his arranged marriage. All he can afford, however, is part-time con artist and full-time charming menace, Luca Pierre. From Mariana Costa, we have Shoestring Theory, out from Angry Robot UK in trade paperback and ebook. This is a gay fantasy romance novel. Depressed mage Cyril Levere fled his dying kingdom years before. Now he tries going back in time to change things. From Luis Jaramillo, we have The Witches of El Paso, out from Primero Sueño in hardcover, ebook, and audio. This is a fantasy novel. In 1943 Texas, teenage Nena follows a mysterious woman to colonial Mexico, where she learns to use her powers. In the present, Nena's grandniece Marta agrees to help 93-year-old Nena find a daughter lost in the past. From Sung Il Kim, we have Blood of the Old Kings, out from Tor in hardcover ebook and audio. This is an epic fantasy novel. A swordswoman, an orphan, and a sorcerer decide to fight a powerful empire, powered by the corpses of sorcerers. Swordswoman Lauren seeks revenge after her family is killed by the Empire. Translated from the Korean by Anton Her. From Wallace Kinney, we have debut novel A Dark and Secret Magic, out from Alcove in hardcover ebook and audio. This is a fantasy romance novel inspired by the myth of Hades and Persephone. Hedge witch Hecate Goodwin's peaceful solitude is destroyed when she hosts her coven's Halloween gathering, and a handsome necromancer turns up. From Katrina Kwan, we have The Last Dragon of the East, out from Saga Press in trade paperback ebook and audio. This is a fantasy novel based on Chinese legends. Sai, a matchmaker who can see soulmates, returns to the failing family tea house. He's taking care of his ailing mother when he buys some probably fake dragon scales in an attempt to heal his mother. The medicine works. The Emperor finds out, and Sai is forced to track down a dragon. From Emily Lloyd Jones, we have The Wild Huntress, out from Little Brown in hardcover ebook and audio. This is a young adult historical fantasy novel set in the world of the Bone Houses. A young woman who can see magic enters the wild hunt held every 5 years in hopes of winning a cure for her mother's failing memory. From Laura Mayo, we have debut novel How to Summon a Fairy Godmother, out from Orbit Works in trade paperback ebook and audio. This is a humorous fantasy retelling of the story of Cinderella. Trying to escape cruel rumors, bankruptcy, and a bad arranged marriage, Lady Theodosia Balfour summons her fairy godmother for help. The fairy she meets is more interested in gathering powerful favors and smoking her pipe. Finally, in collections and anthologies, we have 3 titles. From author and publisher Kevin J. Anderson, we have Horror and Dark Fantasy Stories, Volume 1, out from Wordfire Press in trade paperback, hardcover, and ebook. This is the first volume in a multi-volume set that will collect over 130 of Anderson's short stories. This first collection includes tales of zombies, specters, werewolves, and more human monsters who walk among us. The collection starts with Anderson's very first story attempt at age 8. From editor and author of his own books as well, Indrapramit Das, we have Deep Dreams, science fiction exploring the future of art, out from MIT Press in trade paperback and ebook. This is an original anthology of 10 stories, part of the innovative 12 Tomorrows series, which imagines different ways in which art forms might evolve in the decades and centuries to come. There's an interview with Clark World magazine publisher and editor Neil Clark, who discusses AI-generated fiction and art in the science fiction market. Stories are by an impressive roster of authors like Samit Basu, Vajra Chandrasekhara, Elliot de Bodard, Ganzir, Cassandra Kaw, Lavanya Lakshmaranian, Archita Mitra, Sloan Leong, Bruce Sterling, Wole Talabi, and Lavi Tidhar, with artwork by Diana Scherer. From editor and horror author Mark Morris, we have Elemental Forces, out from Flame Tree Press UK in trade paperback, hardcover, and ebook. This is an original anthology, the 5th book in the Flame Tree Book of Horror series. It contains 20 stories from authors like Poppy Z. Bright, Christina Henry, Sarah Langan, Tim Levin, and Paul Tremblay. That wraps up this week. If you're still with me, you're wonderful. Thank you. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn notifications on so that YouTube can help us connect. Drop us a comment and let us know what books you're thinking about. Locus is a 501c3 nonprofit. We couldn't do this work without your support. You can subscribe to the magazine at locusmag.com, join our Patreon family at patreon.com/locus, or follow us on most platforms at locusmag and at locusmagazine. We'll see you next week with more new books.